Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Rudd with Ruddshomefarm, and today we're going to talk about how I grew my strawberries from seed. Now I used hydroponics, but this also applies to potted methods also. Check out more information down below in the description. Let's get into it. Okay, so first we're going to start off with how I failed to bring strawberries indoors. My first method that I tried was I tried to bring a runner from outside inside. And so a runner is during a stage where the strawberry will duplicate itself, and it'll send out a little vine, and then a plant, which is a clone of the plant, will grow on the end of this little vine, and then you could take that and you could plant it, and it's a plant all by itself. So I tried to bring it indoors, but what happened is that plant had bugs on them. And so I was unable to figure out how to eliminate the bugs but also save the plant and not use a lot of chemicals and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of using pesticides and chemicals on my plants. That's why I grow stuff indoors. That's a benefit of not having to kill pests. So I brought it inside, and then I overcompensated with hydrogen peroxide, thinking that I could just one time kill everything. And I did. I killed everything, including the plant. So that was my first failed attempt. I wouldn't recommend trying to bring a runner indoors unless you fully inspect the plant and check for bugs. My second method was I thought, okay, well, if I buy the roots and just plant and grow the roots, that means the roots, there's no place for the bugs. However, when I got it in the mail, it had white mold all over it. And so I was like, well, I could maybe try to kind of get these to grow with the white mold. But the issue is that I could not put a humidity dome over the plants to stimulate the growing environment, because that would also make the gray mold take off. And so the gray mold pretty much just killed the plant. I wasn't able to use a humidity dome on it, and just the mold was just killed the plant. It was not successful. However, when I bought seeds, that was my successful way, and I have 4 healthy plants right now that are just doing fine. So let's get into how I grew them. Alright, so here are all my strawberry plants and the days they are so far. The one on the left is 23 days old. They take a long time, so you need to be really patient with strawberries. But after a while, they start exploding. Like this strawberry plant over here was just tiny for a long time, and probably all that big growth has probably been within the last week. So it's a little tiny baby for a long time. Here's a picture of when they were just germinating. Okay. And you got one here. That's 18 days, 15 days, and 19 days. Okay, so you just have to kind of really be patient with strawberries. However, these will never have bugs on them. That's one of the reasons why I use hydroponics and I use growing stuff indoors, is because, you know, I just get tired of bugs. I started growing with potted soil, but then, you know, just bugs were just, I couldn't get rid of them. The more soil you have, the more bugs you have, especially gnats. Here's a picture of my first system, and then this is what it looked like at the dinner table when I'm trying to eat my dinner in peace. So it was just, you think you can handle the gnats, but when you have that much soil, potted plants everywhere, it just gets out of control. Alright, so those are 4 successful plants. Here's one failed variety over here. This is 11 days old, and my issue is that I didn't germinate these properly. So I tried to start these directly in my main system. So if I were to back up and see, we have this main system here, a flowing system. So water comes up here, goes across here, drops down, goes over to here, and then comes back. So all these plants are touching, and there's algae everywhere in here. So I mean, algae is a part of it, especially in a flowing system. You just got to minimize it. That's why I have these things to cover up most of the light. But so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to germinate up here, separate. See, this tray has been cleaned and sanitized, and this allows an environment for it to grow with a humid environment, safe from all algae from this plant. Once a plant becomes an adult, algae really isn't a problem to the plant. And as you can see these plants were germinated successfully, and these are about maybe a week and a half old. So I wait till they germinate and come up. All right, they grow, they come up, they get their first leaves, and then I put them in the main system, and then they don't have to worry about being consumed with algae. As you can see, they tried. So make sure you germinate your, this should be with all plants, like you want to germinate your plants away from any sort of main system. So it's like you germinate plants indoors and then you bring them outside, you know, to your garden outside. If you have potted plants inside and you want to make a bunch of potted plants in a tray or something, you germinate it separately and then you place it in the potted plant with them. Same thing with hydroponics. You want to germinate in a separate container, clean and sterilized. And then I just put these in there maybe last night, so they're just starting. This is lettuce and this is arugula. So germinate separately. Alright, so I bought these seeds from a reputable dealer called True Leaf Market. I buy all my seeds there. Getting your seeds from a really reputable dealer is very important because you want to make sure you have the right variety. Like the kind of strawberries you want are everbearing or quinolts. So pretty much that means they'll grow indefinitely and just keep having strawberries all year long. Whereas if you get June bearing, they have one part of the season to where they bear a bunch of strawberries and then they stop. If you get sold June bearing, then it may not work as good as everbearing indoors because outside there's a June signal sent to the plants to bear all their fruit at once, whereas indoors it might be a lot more difficult to replicate that condition. So also I bought the roots from a Amazon dealer and they came with a bunch of mold on there. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was an accident, but you know, it still was a failed product that I couldn't. But out of every plant I bought, and I buy all my seeds from True Leaf Market, I've never had any issues with the product. These are all True Leaf Market seeds. This is True Leaf Market tomatoes. You can see here premium high grade True Leaf Market seeds. This is, I have links in the description. I am an affiliate with them. I'm just affiliate with them because I just love their products so well and they do such a great job and their customer service is great. I can't compliment them enough. They're doing a really great job. So you're gonna buy your strawberries from them, and then they're really expensive because they're ready to go. Like they tell you that you need to cold stratify them, right? That means you put them in the refrigerator for a week or two, but this one that's 23 days old was only in the refrigerator for 4 days. And then I kept them in the refrigerator to see if they would germinate. And so I think the one that's 18 days old was in the refrigerator for like a week or two. And they say a full month, but like I said, I planted this 23-day-old after just a couple of days in the refrigerator. So all the seeds germinated, high quality seeds. And that's kind of what you need to do to grow strawberries from seed. Now let's talk about how strawberries are pollinated. You see I have a fan here, right? So strawberries are self-pollinated. That means they have both the male and the female parts on one flower. So you don't have to go over here and with a toothbrush or a cotton swab and manually pollinate. You just have a fan blow on them. And then it'll blow the pollination over towards on the whole seed and it'll pollinate it. Same with tomatoes. So tomatoes over here, you just have a couple of fans. You can see the fans, right? And then those are what pollinates the tomatoes because those also have the male and the female on the same plant, on the same flower. Okay, so this is for hydroponics only. I use vegging solution here. I use Flora Grow. on the plants. This is my whole reservoir. I use Floor Grow in my reservoir until I see the first flowers. And then next time I change the solution, I switch over to Flora Bloom, right? And so that's what really increases the size of your flowers, and the bigger the flower, the bigger the fruit. So I'll probably end up taking these out of these systems and putting them in their own separate system, because these are mainly for vegging plants like lettuce and arugula and kale and stuff. So I'm going to put these in a separate container and then add some Flora Bloom to them, and they'll go from there. Get strawberries. Well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll keep you guys updated as I grow them all the way up and flowering, and hopefully get some fruit before the end of the year. Thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye.